another year, and we've got two new watches from Samsung, the Galaxy Watch 8 and the more premium Galaxy Watch 8 Classic. But no one is talking about the more important things. Like, obviously, I'll tell you what's new in the Watch 8s, but which of the two should you buy? Or should you skip these and get the Watch 6 or the Watch 7? And would you be missing on to a few functionalities if you were to use them with a non-Samsung phone? Well, let's talk about that. See, build-wise, the Watch 8 series is pretty much the same as the Watch 7 series. You get armor aluminum body on the Watch 8, stainless steel on the Watch 8 Classic, and both have sapphire crystal glass on top. That's, super scratch-proof. They're also military certified to withstand really harsh weather conditions, and they're IP68, water and dust resistant. So you can take them, for a swim, or you can walk into your shower wearing these on, and it'll be fine. But there are certain changes to the design which I think will matter more to you. First, the Watch 8 Classic gets the rotating bezel back, and it is satisfying. Second, the Watch 8 Classic, like the Ultra, gets a quick button, which of course you can customize to quickly start any of these actions that you see here. Third, and I think this is like the most important change, the wristband now wraps around your wrist with a more comfortable fit. I mean, in the Watch 7, it kind of had an outward arch at the buckle point, which kind of felt odd, and I think they've fixed that now. And of course, you still get to take off the band as easily as this and clip it back just like that. Fourth, and I don't know if you've noticed this, but the entire Watch 8 series now has the same squircle design. So they all look like they belong to one brand. And I think it's nice, it's different, and just has a really unique Samsung vibe to it now. And lastly, the regular Watch 8. Oh man. It is drastically light and thin. The only way you'd know it is if you wore it, and I think it's probably the most comfortable smartwatch that I've ever worn. In fact, it's also the lightest Galaxy watch that Samsung has ever made, so that says something. So yeah, the rotating bezel, the more comfortable bend at the clasp, the quick button on the Watch 8 Classic, and the regular super lightweight Watch 8. I think these are all very significant improvements, and personally I would lean into the Watch 8, the regular one, just because it's so light, but I think the Classic looks amazing as well. Oh, and just FYI, like the Watch 7, these two do not charge using wireless power share from Samsung phones. Just something I thought you should know. Now guys, in addition to all of these things, the new watches use the fast 3nm chip. So, it makes it really quick to process things or voice prompts that you might give, and makes them more power efficient. Speaking of which, the battery is now about 10% higher in capacity than last year's Watch 7. But having said that, you get close to somewhere about 1 to 1.5 days with always on display turned on. And with always on display turned off, you can expect close to 35 to 40 hours. Oh, and also guys, both the watches peak to 3000 nits of brightness, which is the same as what the Galaxy Watch Ultra had last year. So 50% higher peak brightness. That's good. Alright, so far I've only talked about changes in design and a few hardware upgrades, but a lot of the changes are coming to the software as well. First of all, the Watch 8 comes with the latest One UI 8 based on Google's Wear OS 6, which means you get access to all apps on the Google Play Store that can be installed on a watch. Now look guys, there are some things that are new and will also come to older watches, and some things that are new and will not come to older watches. So let's talk about that. First, what's new? So right now, Watch 8 series is the only one to come with One UI 8. Functionally the same, but a few aesthetic upgrades. For example, you get the pill-shaped widgets like the ones you see here. You get Now Bar, just like you did with the phones. But a massive change is that every swipe is now a page that's got customizable multi-info tiles. So I've got a health page with all health-related tiles. Then I've got a fitness page with fitness-related stuff, and a basic one with some other things. And guys, each of these is completely customizable. So I could go into the wearable app, go to the tiles section, and I can see all these pages here. Now, within health, I can add more tiles, as you see here, which could be health-related or from any other app on your watch. You can also rearrange the tiles, and of course you can rename this from health to anything you want, like fitness. And obviously you do get some new watch faces too, as you can see here. They're nice, they're interesting, and of course fresh watch faces are always a good idea. Now, for those of you wondering which watches are gonna get One UI 8, so all watches above the Watch 4 series will start getting One UI 8 October onwards this year, tentatively. But of course, not all features are going to be available. It's going to depend on the hardware capability of that watch itself. obviously. Now, a couple of things are still the same, like in the older watches. For example, you still get gestures that you can use on these watches. Like you can knock twice to, let's say, turn on the torch, or double pinch to answer a call, or you can just cycle through notifications without using the rotation dial or touch, or just dismiss alarms or reminders like this. I mean, you can even, pinch like this to take a photo. It's pretty cool. But a cool new thing that again is just exclusive to the Galaxy Watch 8 series right now is that you have an AI assistant on your wrist at all times. And you just have to raise and say, "Hey Google." It activates Google Gemini, and now you can ask it anything. For example, "Hey Google, how to remove red wine stain from a white shirt?" So Gemini integrates with Google Search and fetches the result. And you don't have to stop there. You can then do this. I can ask it to send it as a message to someone on WhatsApp. Here, Gemini will integrate with WhatsApp that's installed on my phone and send that result as a message, all without picking up my phone. Pretty cool. And it's great to just even start timers or a stopwatch, or even just quickly add something to your calendar or, a reminder. So I can say, "Hey Google, remind me to pick up my monitor stand at 8:30 a.m. tomorrow." And here, Gemini will integrate with the native Samsung Reminder app and create a reminder. And you can try these prompts with majority of Samsung's native apps, your music apps, Google Maps, Google Tasks, and Google Search. I mean, suddenly your watch has so much more capability just because it integrates with Google Gemini. Now, will it be coming to older watches? Well, yes. Galaxy Watch 6 series onwards, including the Galaxy Watch 6, is going to get Google Gemini, but again, it's going to roll out towards the later part of the year. Next, they've added a couple of new things to now monitor health. So let's start with the obvious ones: heart rate, blood oxygen, stress levels, and of course, overall sleep quality. And this stuff most smartwatches do, whether Samsung or non-Samsung. And all of this data is recorded and shown in this Samsung Health app, which is pre-installed on Samsung phones, and you'll have to install on any other phone. But Samsung watches can monitor blood pressure as well as create ECG reports like I did for myself. Now this, not all watches can, but Galaxy Watches do. Now this time, they've added a lot more vital health metrics. Firstly, the sleep tracking algorithms have improved to be more accurate. But wait, they've added something that's really interesting: sleep latency. The time that it takes for you to fall asleep. And I bet all of us would love to know that. Now I understand that mine shows 2 minutes because I did fall asleep really quick yesterday, but a couple of other days, I had 8 minutes and 45 minutes, so it works. There's also bedtime guidance now that kind of tells you, based on your sleeping patterns, when's the right time for you to go to bed and wake up as fresh as possible. Secondly, there's a running coach now, which coaches you for running with real-time voice. It's like having a real coach around you. So it's going to make you take a 12-minute test run to understand your current running capability, and then it gives you a personalized training plan based on that. Third, it can calculate vascular load now. So essentially, it's kind of a wellness indicator, and it tells you how much load or stress is there in your blood vessels that actually carry the oxygen and nutrients to your body parts. So the watch first sets a baseline and then over time tells you whether you're doing better or worse. Now guys, we all know that antioxidants are great for slowing down aging and in general for heart health. This watch tells you your antioxidant index. If it's low, you're probably aging faster, which means there is something that you should start doing about it. As should I. Now guys, since most of these are software improvements, so Watch 6 and Watch 6 onwards should get this when the software update rolls out. But again, it's going to depend on the watch capability, the hardware capabilities of the watch, and whether it can measure all of these new things that we talked about. And of course, in addition to all this, the Watch 8, like the previous watches, is able to track all kinds of exercises. In fact, if you're thinking of picking up an exercise, the watch probably has a good list for you. All these workouts, this watch, like the previous watches, can track. The good news is that all of these functionalities are available to you no matter which Android device you connect the Galaxy Watch 8 to. The only things that you miss out on is you won't be able to, tap and make payments. That will happen only if you connect this to a Samsung phone. And you can't monitor blood pressure and, do the ECG tests. Now, let's get to the moment of truth, okay? How much do these cost? what are the variants that you have, and what are the band options available. So each watch comes in Bluetooth only and LTE variants, but if you don't plan to use, the watch standalone without the phone, then the Bluetooth version is good enough for you. These prices are after bank discounts of 9,000 on the Watch 8 and 12,000 rupees on the Watch 8 Classic, so keep that in mind. And guys, to help you understand which size is good for you, I did something. See, I've got fairly thin arms. And if I was to measure with a thread or a strip, it's about 6.25 centimeters. Now, this is how the Watch 8 Classic 46mm looks on my hand, and this is the Watch 8 44mm and how it looks on my hand. Now, no one comments on how thin my arms are, but I was just doing this to give you an idea. I should have probably got the 40mm. Now, there are a couple of band options as well. There's a hybrid band that has, a leather type finish in 5 colors, the sport band in these colors, fabric band for something more, nice and fresh, and the athleisure band with some really nice earthy tones. So there you have it, guys, about the Watch 8 Classic and the Watch 8. Hopefully I've answered all your questions, and if not, please ask me in the comment section. I'll definitely help you out. But honestly, I really think if you're looking for an Android watch, very few can compete with the capabilities that, Watch 8 series offers at the moment. And definitely one of my favorite Android watches to go with. Anyway, I hope you really enjoyed watching the video. And if you did, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, guys. Hit that bell notification icon and mark all. Really helps the channel grow. I'll see you guys in the next one.